right, chat. It's time to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. No, not yet. That's only on the Chinese servers. So, we got more Genshin VA. So apparently, an anime VA exposes a Genshin VA lies. We gotta talk about it. Look, I understand. Also, for those on my YouTube audiences, I have my subtitles working again. Well, the problem is, if I talk a lot or so, it kind of like, it gets kind of cut off, unfortunately. Kind of gets a little bit slightly cut off, but you know, it is what it is, you know? But yeah. Anyways, let's jump into it, shall we? Let's talk about it. All right. What is it this time,
Welcome back,
Hirohei?
guys. Hope you've been having a wonderful week. So we've got another...
Well, I was having a wonderful week until you decided to upload another VA drama, but you know, hey, these VA people can't shut up for one of these days, you know? Well, we did have some peace and quiet at least for a little bit.
VA topic going on here. You see, over on Blue Sky, a voice actress made a post responding to someone in which the VA was essentially defending SAG-AFTRA. The VA click over on Blue Sky, then praising that person. However, that person, that VA, getting lots of backlash from elsewhere in the community. For example, over on the Genshin Impact subreddit. We've also got another voice actor who actually did call out the union. So yeah, we got some exciting stuff to take a look at in this video. But first, a brief message from today's sponsor, Dopamine Hit. Dopamine Hit is a new MMORPG with quick progression,
look at
a fast-paced
that.
by
Anyways,
clicking the link in the description or pinned comment and have
that
fun.
was a cool
That
that was a
takes us
cool
over to Blue
ad.
Sky with the voice actress Maya Aoki Tuttle. Over on IMDb, they say Maya Aoki Tuttle is a Japanese-American voice actor, musician, and editor known for Pixar's Dream Productions, Disney's Spidey and His Amazing Friends, DreamWorks' Megamind Rules, Netflix's Tokyo Override, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and Destiny 2, having graduated from the University of California. And yeah, as you can see here, there is quite a list of credits.
Okay.
Scrolling a few seconds longer, there we go. Oh, but let's pause here actually. Genshin Impact Charlotte. So yeah, she's the VA for Charlotte.
Oh, she's the wait, is this the Genshin VA person? Wait, she voice acts Charlotte? Is that that's the pink hair girl, right? That takes pictures and everything? Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
English VA for Charlotte, of course, in Genshin. Back over to Blue Sky, Maya Aoki Tuttle says this.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Bridget. This has been a difficult time. My child and family rely on me. I desperately want to work, but I must support SAG's fight for protections. SAG provides my family's health insurance. When my young daughter was injured, we went to the emergency room without worrying about cost, thanks to SAG. There are real-world issues at stake. As for your ultimatum, the first I can't do until there's an interim agreement, and the second I have no control over. I'm sorry about your game experience. I understand why you're upset. I'm sad, scared, and trying to stay strong for my family and fellow actors. Unfortunately, we can't see what Maya had responded to because it seems like that person has deleted their post after getting this response. But what we do know is that SAG is, of course, not this wonderful thing like being portrayed here. Maya's more than welcome to argue that there's like benefits that she's getting. But speaking of benefits and healthcare,
With how messy the situation has gotten, I just hope those who want to stay get to leave the union. True. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. And those who want to support the union get replaced. Yeah. And like at this point, actually, to be honest, this would probably be a perfect opportunity to jump back into voice acting again, you know?
The fact of the matter is, based off publicly available information, about 85% of SAG's members don't actually qualify for healthcare benefits. As I have also previously discussed, during COVID, they increased the requirements for healthcare benefits, causing thousands of their members to lose coverage during the pandemic, disproportionately also impacting senior members who had also been paying into that healthcare plan for years, in some cases, many years, basically throwing all those seniors under the
Yeah,
bus.
the
As
Natlan
we also
stuff,
know, of
yeah.
course, the agreement will very likely cause negative repercussions to non-union VAs, which on that
Well, the problem is, Luke, is I haven't done a portfolio. That's why. Hey Ari, I haven't done a portfolio. I haven't really well, not really a portfolio, more like a demo take, a demo reel, you know? I haven't done that. I haven't done a new one, basically. That's the problem. Because the strike was starting when some of the characters joined in on Notland, like, why apply? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole Notland thing was so dumb or so, you know? It's dumb that they think, like, we're a lot more darker skin, but, like, spoiler alert, we also have white skin, too, for, you know, the quote-unquote Hispanic, you know, the Hispanic slash, well, the Aztec slash Polynesian inspired, you know?
note is a prelude to the next voice actress we're going to take a look at, who does criticize the union. But first, a few responses here that you might find rather interesting. We can see a number of VAs here responding to Maya, praising the response, starting with VA John Patnoid. You might remember John Patnoid from being the previous VA for Kenichi, who got replaced by Jacob Takanashi. And of course,
oh, that's the ex-VA of Kenichi. Oh, okay. Okay. You snooze, you lose, brother.
the harassment campaign against Jacob Takanashi ensuing from there, with a number of the VAs in this clique going after dude. Maya saying, or excuse me, first John saying, I appreciate you so much, Maya. And Maya saying, appreciate you, John. I'm sorry for everything you've gone through. Well, you know, I don't think John Patnoid is really the victim in that whole situation with Jacob and all that.
We're back on it
Dude
again.
refuses to work for like 6 months. Hoyo also seemingly
True.
giving him like 6 months to return to the job. Still doesn't want to return to the job. Gets replaced. And the new VA for Kenichi
Take care, Baku.
gets
Be safe,
harassed by the
hon.
clique. Then we've got Kyle McCarley, VA for Mob and Mob Psycho 100, and someone who's been in my videos before, because according to my recollection, dude is frequently posting on Blue Sky, making various defense posts of the union.
I think Bertrand doesn't want to talk about the VA stuff. I think Bertrand is tired of the VA, and all this VA drama.
Click. Here he is saying, stay strong, Maya. Thank you for fighting this existential fight. Then we got VA Aaron Roselle, who says, I have so much love and respect for you. Thanks for the boost of optimism that we will finish this strong. I don't think this person's VA. I'm not sure. Don't think so. Then we got Katie Cofield, who...
John Patnoid only voiced like the first appearance of Kenichi, then stopped voicing. I don't get why he complained how he didn't get to keep the role. Well, no duh. If you don't do your role, you're just gonna get replaced. Simple. Bruh. Don't be stupid.
Who is a VA? I think so, if I recall. Katie Cofield saying, so very grateful for your solidarity. However, look at this one. Person says, I urge you to reconsider, as there's absolutely no way Mihoyo signs that agreement ever. But we all must do what we think is right. To Maya's credit, she actually followed up her SAG post with a better take, which reads, also to my VA peers / future friends, I have no judgment for anyone's work choices. I'd be a hypocrite if I did. We're all navigating hard personal decisions with big consequences. If I'm lucky enough to run into you at a studio, all I see is a talented human I'm excited to see. What's really funny about this, though, is none of the VAs who are praising her other response are here in the comments. There's actually no responses to this one, and it also only got 25 likes, while the other one got 152. The next VA that we're going to take a look at is Megan Shipman, who has worked on a number of roles, including Anya from Spy Family. As over on Twitter, she actually made a post criticizing SAG-AFTRA. As we know, this is a pretty brave thing to do in the VA space because you'll get the clique upset at you. Here's what Megan had to say. What if I said that years ago, instead of getting a Taft-Hartley for a union project and helping me gain eligibility, the union told the team to not do that and replaced me for a union actor because there supposedly weren't enough union actors, quote unquote.
What the fuck?
Like, I got paid for my sessions, so it's whatever, and I'm grateful for the projects I have gotten a Taft-Hartley from, but it's stuff like this that makes me kind of balk when people say Taft-Hartleys are so easy to do. Yeah, so this is a very good point by Megan. And we have
Eh.
seen a lot of VAs trying to make it sound like it is really easy to get Taft-Hartleys and anyone who wants one can get one. The union's just here to help, even non-union people. Despite the fact that we've seen statements from their executives and members that completely contradict such claims. And it also reminds me of the video that voice actor Joe Zija made talking about the Genshin strike, in which it really seemed like most of that video was trying to run defense for the union. And so with the context of what Megan Shipman just said here on May 1st, let's briefly play a portion of Joe's video about Taft-Hartley. It's only going to be like a minute long.
You might have heard the term Taft-Hartley thrown around, and I advise you really just don't look too deep into this because it's confusing for our purposes, bringing it back to us. Consider a Taft-Hartley like a temporary 60-day union pass to allow someone who is non-union to work on a union job. After that, they're considered a must join, at which point, like the status implies, they must join the union or stop working union jobs. It's also possible to negotiate an individual waiver with the union and say, look, I'm only ever gonna work this one union job. Please don't make me join. I won't do anything else. And they can say yes. In the simplest sense, you can do on a Taft-Hartley a very limited amount of union work as a non-union member before you have to join. And that sort of makes perfect sense if you think about it. The union offers actual tangible benefits, even for a single contract. Reaping those benefits without being a union member and paying your dues is like extending your Netflix free trial indefinitely. At some point, you gotta pay for what you're using.
It's just such a bad example. I can't believe you went with that. Because the whole video itself is talking about the Genshin strike. And Genshin is not a union project. A lot of the VAs who are not a part of the union working on Genshin don't want to be a part of the union. So it's not like they're abusing a Netflix free trial. It's like a number of VAs trying to flip the project union and force terms on the VAs that they never wanted to begin with.
Yep.
And then trying to get those VAs to pay for it too. It's crazy. But yeah, back to Megan here. Good on her for making this set of tweets. As mentioned, this is the sort of thing that gets that clique upset at you. She did not have to post this information, but she decided to. And good on her, man. Pretty cool. All right, that takes us back.
I told this before on stream. I want to do Latina Paimon. Let me do Latina Paimon, man. Let me just come in with a lowrider, with a white shirt, baggy ass like khaki pants, shorts, and like a bandana around my head, you know? Look, if Malvika can come in with a motorcycle, I'm allowed to come in as Latina Paimon with a lowrider, okay? All right? I'm just saying. Just give me Latina Paimon with a lowrider and we're Gucci.
Over to our Genshin Impact. The post talking about Maya's Blue Sky post that we read earlier, once again the VA for Charlotte. Some of the top comments saying things like, just recast the ones that don't want to return. I don't care if it's a different voice at this point. It's very annoying to play the game in English voices that are muted. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how long this stuff has been going on too. It takes so much away from the experience having mute characters more than people realize.
I'm gonna come in. Like if they actually like say, hey Nyaru, we want you to voice Paimon, but be Latina Paimon, I'd be like this. Apúrate, traveler, necesita ir a recoger tu hermana, hombre. Te voy a dar unos pijazos si no te levantas ahorita. Y te voy a dar unos pijazos con la chancla también si no te levantas ahorita. Te voy a jalarte los oídos ahorita si no vengas ahorita. I like it how my translator was going crazy because it didn't understand what I was saying. Oh, poor translator.
Absolutely. The 5.6 quest was epic. Full voice acting would have made it even better. The Lantern Rite event this year was cool too. Just didn't hit the same without VA. It's been so long, I don't even remember what her voice sounded like. Bro. So getting someone new wouldn't even require an adjustment. The most upvoted comment saying, well, that's Hope Charlotte's next year will be good.
There.
Edit, I am not wishing or hoping that she gets fired. I try to stay logical. Hoyo will
Jeez.
never sign the agreement. SAG will never back down.
Chad, you guys would have no idea how funny it would be, to be honest.
So it leaves two options. Charlotte stays muted forever. Charlotte gets a new VA. And the second option seems more plausible, hence my comment. Response they got saying, These VAs on Blue Sky are in their own echo chamber. But
They
someone else
are.
says, what echo chamber? This VA is literally just saying their terms for returning for work. They have made zero claims as to what they think Hoyo or anyone else thinks. I don't know how you'd call that an echo chamber. Well, regardless of Maya's post aside, the fact of the matter is there is absolutely a VA click echo chamber over on Blue Sky, as we have seen numerous times here in various videos that I've covered. It is very much a thing.
Problem is, I need
other
other people who want to do it.
Retweet each other or repost each other, and then like instantly block anyone who dissents from the allowed opinion. It is absolutely an echo chamber. The next top comment saying, man, these people really think there is a chance that the agreement will ever be signed. Hoyo already has the pipeline for future English VAs, so there is zero upsides. Response reading, I don't think Hoyo will even bother with the agreement because of political interests conflicting. Hoyo is a Chinese company. SAG is an American union. There's no world where Hoyo will even bother with it, because China and the US have conflicting political interests. Since China has anti-AI laws to protect workers' rights, Hoyo is basically safe anyways. Someone else saying, yeah, especially since Hoyo is a part of the CCP, so it's even more unlikely that they will collaborate with an American union. Another top response reading, the agreement is not getting signed. They'll be replaced or left mute. Sucks to suck, but sucks to suck, but SAG dug this grave and are letting their actors rot in it.
Yep.
To be fair, it wasn't SAG that dug the grave since Hoyo wasn't one of the struck companies. The voice actors did this on their own. And SAG just tried to take advantage of that. The other person responds and says, I don't believe that SAG didn't start this, allowing them to wink wink, nudge nudge, ignore global rule 1, and then being able to force them to be the face of this. Most of them, even the vocal Paimon VA, were forced to join. This is a SAG thing. If these VAs leave SAG, it could blacklist their careers. It sucks, it really does. But all the problems originate from SAG, and leaving these people out to dry and face the music with minimal support is some devious work. Well, to be quite frank, like, it's really one and the same. SAG is built by the members. The members are SAG. SAG is its own members.
Yeah, because if all the people leave or so from SAG, what's SAG gonna do? Nothing. SAG isn't gonna do anything. So it's like, just leave and just go back to work. I don't understand. Like, it's just like, they're the ones who control it. So it's just like even if one person owns SAG, right? What are they gonna do? They're gonna start blacklisting every single VA that left SAG after? Bruh, that's not how it works.
So, of course, if we're talking about like all the fine details, there is different levels of involvement between some random SAG member and the SAG executives, or the most like active members, or the members bringing in the most money, reaping the most benefits from the union and all that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the union is built by its members.
Yeah.
So that's something to also remember. The problem originates from a union having the power to ruin someone's career. Is a US thing that they justify as a bargain power and totally not extortion or mafia-like, but is okay because they fight for better salaries, so it's all forgiven.
That's such a dumb thing.
Well, I mean, US unions specifically.
I'm like, I remember if you want to get a higher paying, like, you know, higher paying salary and stuff like that, just do your job better. Become the best voice actor or actress, you know, either or, you know. Yeah, just be better. Just get good. You want to get paid more? You want to get more job opportunities? Well, do your voices better. I'm just saying. When I saw this part of the VA drama, for some reason I felt discouraged to do and start some VA work because of how shady it looks. It looks despite not being in the US. Oh no, this is just a US thing. This is literally just straight up US. You know, if you want to do VA stuff, you can do VA stuff. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. This is just a dumb US thing anyway. So even then, on top of that, not even all the VAs are doing it. None of the well, I should say all of the US VAs. It's just only the crazy ones. It's just the crazy VAs that are doing this, whatever the hell this is. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care.
They have a long history with the mafia. It was one of the main methods for mafia to have political leverage. So I'm not really surprised the methods are still in play. Now, you're welcome to agree or disagree with me. Maybe I'm being too extreme with what I'm about to say next, and it's just not fair. But I don't view the, like, I'm scared to get blacklisted as a very good excuse.
True.
I don't, like, have a
Yeah.
0% factor on it. I do understand, I can sympathize with that sentiment. But ultimately, these are grown adults. These are professionals willingly being a part of a union that seems to be pretty dang corrupt and shady, and that's putting it nicely, when they don't have to do that, especially in the VA industry, where most of the jobs are not even union jobs to begin with. There are other paths to victory, so to speak. Shout out to Contessa, by the way. If you know, you know. Point being, though, lots of non-union jobs for people to take. They don't need to be a part of SAG-AFTRA in the VA space.
Yep.
And a lot of the money VAs make are also from things like convention appearances,
Yep.
signing autographs, stuff like
Yep.
that. So there are other options on the table than just being some SAG bootlicker.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. Other options on the table. And I guess that's really it for this video, though. Hope you enjoyed my coverage. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, number one, Anya's VA is based. I'll be honest with you. She is pretty based. So there is that. Honestly, it's like, I just leave. Just leave. If you want to go back to work and make money, just leave. I'm like, for God's sakes, you got Paimon's VA fucking doing work. And she's part of the union. I'm like, bruh, are we just gonna like forget that Paimon is doing Paimon voices? God Lord, I swear, honestly, makes no sense. But whatever. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion anyways. But yeah, that's the end of the video. You can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. I'm not too sure, actually. Not really too sure on that, but based, Anya's VA is pretty based. I'll be honest with you, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. And I'm hoping that this ends soon, because just replace the VAs at this point, honestly. Just replace them all. We'll be fine. Even the audiences are a-okay with it. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Hashtag Latina Paimon. We gotta get that trending or so. Hashtag Latina Paimon. Anyways, that's it. That's the end of the video. And peace.